Looks exactly the same as the Google Pixel Watch, but it's supposedly better. Is it though? Here's our take on the Google Pixel Watch 2.
Namaste, we are DHRME. Defensive husk is recklessly misplaced by entities.
The first thing we noticed on the Pixel Watch 2 is improved battery life. Do you like your always on display, raise to wake, all your notifications on, continuous heart rate monitoring? No worries. It can finally last 24 hours easily with all the bells and whistles on. In our testing, exactly after 24 hours, we would have around 20% battery left over. On the Pixel Watch 1, this was a gamble, and with heavy fitness tracking, we would struggle to make the 24-hour mark. What's also great is the new charging situation. The included puck is different with some contact pins, but also different in the charging speed. You can charge the watch to full in a little over an hour compared to the almost 2 hours on the previous generation.
The casing of the watch has been changed from stainless steel to aluminum. This could be a positive or a negative for you. We find stainless steel to be more premium, albeit with the added heft. Aluminium looks okayish, but won't weigh down your wrist as much. Finally, there's also an official IP68 dust and water resistance, so great if you're into the outdoors and workouts that involve a bit more intensity. The first Pixel Watch only had 5 atmospheres water resistance, so definitely a step up here. And in that same light, you're getting some additional sensors. There's a skin temperature sensor for sleep and period tracking, and an electrical sensor which is used for body response tracking. What's that, you ask? Well, it monitors your stress levels and tracks your mood, if you're into that kind of thing.
And if you have a Pixel phone, then the Do Not Disturb and alarms will sync to it. Speaking of phones, the watch can make calls, and we thought it did very well. Up close to your mouth while your hands are at the keyboard or even at your side. Even background noise was cancelled out well. The only issue is that the speaker on the watch isn't very loud, so calls at home, no problem. Else, take a look at our channel for some earbud or headphone recommendations.
And lastly, the move to a Qualcomm chip has improved the overall performance of the watch a little bit. And although it ships with the new Wear OS 4, the older Pixel Watch is getting that as well. And like its predecessor, we're still big fans of the design of this watch. It is seriously one of the best looking smartwatches on the market right now. The minimal UI, comfortable strap, and simple button layout make for a classy but easy to use watch, but still equipped with interactive notifications, Google features like Assistant and Wallet, as well as sleep and fitness tracking. But let's put that fitness tracking to the test, shall we?
I went on a bike ride with the Pixel Watch and the Polar H10 chest strap, which is a gold standard for accurate heart rate measurement. Here you clearly see that there's a lot of disagreement between the two devices. Straight out of the gate, the Pixel Watch 2 is measuring a far higher heart rate, and I hadn't even started biking yet. At these points, my heart rate dipped further than the Pixel Watch, and vice versa at these points. Not a very consistent reading, to be honest, and this is not the only test we've done either. The other time was during a game of padel. Different sport, same hairy brown wrist, similar results.
Looking at the other data such as average and maximum heart rate, it is looking good. The same goes for the total calories burnt. A slight difference in the distance though, but acceptable.
Now, let's talk about the negatives. In the health tracking department, it's important to note that there is no blood pressure monitor on this watch. It does have an SpO2 blood oxygen saturation and a skin temperature sensor, but that's only used for sleep or period tracking. You can't manually use these sensors independently like you can on some other watches. And speaking of sleep tracking, there were a couple of instances that the watch wasn't able to track the sleep stages, even though the watch was snugly strapped to my wrist. To top it off, the Fitbit integration is great. The app works well and shows plenty of detailed data. The only catch, after 6 months, you have to pay for it. And it ain't cheap. $10 per month, especially when you see so many competitors offer it for free. And knowing Google's track record of dead products, who knows how long this service is going to last. We give it a couple of years.
We ended up canceling our subscription pretty quickly after those 6 months. Look, if you're someone who occasionally looks at your fitness and health data, the free version will be plenty. But if you need in-depth sleep analysis, a wellness report, guided audio video workout classes, access to recipes and meditation material, then yeah, go ahead and shell out. Invest those $10 every month. And although Kevin might love the size of the Pixel watches at 41mm, I find it far too small, and it's sad that Google doesn't bother to offer a bigger size. Come on, even Samsung and Apple do it. Oh, and the straps have proprietary connectors, and the glass is still Gorilla Glass 5. Although we luckily haven't endured any scratches on the screen yet.
So at $350, this one's a doozy. Unless you manage to get it free with the Pixel 8 Pro during the pre-order, it's hard to justify it at this price point. You're definitely getting a great looking and comfortable watch with decent fitness tracking and battery life, all with the stock version of Wear OS, just like how Google intended it. However, the Samsung flagship, the Galaxy Watch 6, is available for less than $250, and it gets you equal comfort and battery life, but better health and fitness tracking, including a blood pressure and SpO2 monitor. And most importantly, there's no freemium model to the app. And there are more colors, sizes, and straps to choose from, as well as the classic model if you're into that rotating bezel.
Our advice, hold on to your hard-earned cash and check out the video comparing the best Android smartwatches. There might be one that suits your needs better.
You've been resisting good-looking smartwatches,
And we've been DHRME.
Dewey.
Namaste with DHRME. Defensive husk is recklessly misplaced by entities. I have no idea what that means.